Welcome, guys. We're here tonight at the Versus Gameplay Arcade. I'm co-casting alongside JV, man. After a big weekend of the Call of Duty World League,
Oh man.
some
Oh
great
man.
teams qualified. I know Optic Gaming qualified. Team Envious won their bracket as well. FaZe, I believe, won theirs, and I forgot about the other ones. I believe Apotheon beat the team that they were playing for third.
Ah.
But anyway,
Definitely a lot of heavy hitters for sure, and some great casting. Oh my God, Maven was like killing it with Mr. X this weekend. That was.
yeah, Mr. X is really good. So is Maven. Mr. X being a professional coach, switched to casting. It brings in a lot of that insight that you necessarily wouldn't see at a casting standpoint from being on Team Complexity whenever they had the roster that won the Black Ops 2 championship, I believe.
It's just that
No,
little,
not Black Ops 2.
that
Ghost.
little extra. You know what I mean? It's that little extra that I think that he really brings to the table, which is nice. Them two together were just a really fun duo.
No, they were.
It was good. It was good. And then there's just us two.
Yeah.
You see how much of a gap that there is.
Yeah.
But hey, just like both these teams are grinding it out every week, we're here grinding it out as well, trying to up the commentary for the fine folks tuning in from home. How's
Yes.
everybody doing?
Yep, and we have Team Kingdom going against Team Vicious tonight. Originally we had Team Static versus Team EZG. Sadly, both those teams had last-minute things that came up, which prevented them from showing. But they should be on here next week for a match if they both confirm for that one. But tonight we have Kingdom returning back. They did get dethroned last week on the show match, losing to it was Team Static 3-2. But they go against Team Vicious right now. Vicious COD. I did look at their Twitter. They said they did place 25th at Columbus, which had to be for Ghost, which was the last Columbus event they had. That was open bracket. So this will be very interesting to see. We are using the Call of Duty World Qualifier rules. So the rules will be no UAV, no care package, no hater. And then it's going to be no XM53 rocket launcher. Everything else can be banned and protected. If it's not banned and protected, it can be used. So
well, right off the bat, it looks like Ranger's going to be banning that L car. I mean, what are the implications behind this more than anything else?
The L-Car 9, it's an automatic pistol. Very easy to get kills with. It's kind of like the, I want to say Cap 45 from Black Ops 2, where everybody used it. RK5 being banned as well, which is kind of like the B23R from Black Ops 2. It's a 3-burst pistol. 1 burst can kill you if all 3 bullets hit, or 2 bursts will kill you, and it shoots very fast.
And a ban from the Vesper as well. I really like the Vesper in this game. I think that it's just such a fantastic weapon. And I love, obviously it shreds close range, but it has some decent mid-range potency as well. So it doesn't surprise me that we're seeing a ban from that as well. Rapid Fire going to be taking a back seat. And there goes the ban on the counter UAV as well. So no UAVs allowed whatsoever, it seems.
Yep, so no UAVs beside, well, actually, no, not at all, like you said. Vision Pulse, I see can be used. Grip being banned, not necessarily too sure about that, but I'm curious as to what about the Specialist, because you have Hive, you have Rejack, and those two are ones that actually got banned beforehand, as well as Vision Pulse. Vision Pulse was as well banned, so it's very interesting to see how that will actually be used, considering the fact that Vision Pulse, you can get pings of your enemies around the area. Hive, you can put down 2 different things on the ground that will actually pop up, kill the person no matter what. Rejack, obviously, being reopened, but none of the specialists being banned. You see Simtex and High Caliber as the last 2 bans.
And nothing really protected either. It doesn't seem like either team really wants to show their hand. So there's going to be a lot of data to really take in this first game. It looks like Fletch is going to be picking up a Reaper with the Scythe. Scythe, I think, is a really interesting type of perk in particular, specifically because it just, I think, if I remember correctly, it charges up a little bit quicker than the other specialist perks.
It does charge up a little bit quicker, as well as it's completely dominating. We actually saw it was a match between, I believe, Optic Gaming and Apotheon that was CTF, and I forgot who on it from Optic Gaming got the Scythe, but completely dominated, like a 10-kill streak just with the Scythe going on. Okay. And it was a spawn trap on CTF. And it was, it was Uplink. It was like 20-0. It was like, wow, like first game 20-0. Like, what happened? Like, what went on here? But Rejack bring out, the one that brings you back from the dead, and now later bring out from Versus, Purifier. I see some good ones from Kingdom. On the other hand, on Vicious, I don't know how that Rejack one will necessarily be played into effect. But anything can work.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see what the styles are going to be for these players. I'm looking right now, seeing as Fletch has that Scythe, that he's going to be the run-and-gun for sure. Definitely going to be much more on the aggressive side. more than anything else, because he wants to get up close and personal so he can make the most of that scythe. But of course, you have players like Money who are repping the gravity spikes, which I think are going to be really, really great for clearing out some of those hard points and taking some points back on the board.
Yep. You know, Geno Smash did bring out the Hive. Hive is going to be the one as he's just going to put down on the ground, and it's going to be very bad when it gets to a hard point because he can just kind of put down on the ground a hard point. If they clear it out, the hard point, they can just run in and get killed by the Hive, and they're just basically, you know, kind of SOL.
And I think that on a map like Stronghold, where you have so many doors and options like that, you can use the Hive as a way to kind of control some of that space and prevent your opponents from really coming in through certain areas. And that makes it so you have one less real option to cover. So I'm expecting a lot of usage with the Hive in combination with trophy systems and things like that to really lock down some of these hard points. But then you see there's going to be a weird duality there, right? Because you have one person who's all about locking down an already controlled already controlled hard point. Whereas you have another person, Money, who literally exists just to go and use his specialist burst to instantly retake hard points. So there's going to be like that yin and yang kind of relationship, I feel, between Smash and Money. Yep. At least in my mind, anyways. It might not be as cool in-game, but you know what? In a couple of seconds, we're probably going to figure out how things play out.
No, for sure. And one thing I do have to mention is Money immediately readied up for the creative class. He had 60 seconds creative class, took about 5 seconds, he immediately readied up. Next person was Versus, taking 30 seconds to creative class. So it doesn't seem like Money was too affected by the ban system. You know, Vesper being banned, so it doesn't seem like he uses that gun that much. He probably uses more the VMP with Rapid Fire, or not. Sorry, Rapid Fire was banned and High Caliber was banned. But it's going to be very interesting to see because with the VMP, that was actually one of the ones that got banned the most at Call of Duty World League. That and the Vesper. You saw basically kind of like how, you know, we played in the past weeks. That was basically kind of like the rule set the pros are playing. The unspoken rule set, that would say. But interesting to see as editing score streaks, Easy Fierce finally readies up. We should be going to the game in about 3 seconds. As we will start Stronghold on Hardpoint between Kingdom and Vicious.
Hardpoint, definitely a very intriguing map. Hardpoint definitely a really very intriguing game type for me. I like the fact that in this version there isn't like there's the timer obviously, but you know whenever you're inside the hill itself, the time doesn't decrease, which means that, you know, we can potentially have like a pretty long-lasting game unless it's incredibly dominant from one team. I mean, and you mentioned that it was Team Vicious that's coming back, right?
Team Kingdom.
Team Kingdom. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Kingdom was on last week. They were down 0-2, playing with the pickup. They got their fourth back, won 2 straight games, and they lost 6-2 on, I believe it was Search and Destroy. But we're going to hop on board here, I guess, with Rangers. Rangers going to start off, does have MR6 semi, so he does pull out the MR6 pistol. That was also a strong pistol that was, you know, shown being used. But Hardpoint is in favor of Team Kingdom as of right now.
That's right. And we're going over to Ranger. Oh, going to be taken out there by Money, who is the player that I saw with the gravity spikes. And like we said, especially whenever some of these hard points start getting locked in, it becomes a little bit more dicey. I can expect him to maybe use some of the segments where you can wall run to hop off and maybe get a nice gravity spike to go ahead and clear the hard point.
You know, we did see, I believe that was Easy Fierce. He's on 4 kill streak right now. I'm going to hop it back on board with him as he does get taken out. Commentator Curse there. You know, 4-2. VMP coming out, so Money does use VMP. I'm going to hop on board here with Versus. Versus currently the highest scoring player for his team right now inside the hard point himself, getting those times. 21-4 right now. Kingdom actually really high up on the board. And they're rotating over to the second hard point in the series. And they should have full control of that for the first few seconds.
And it looks pretty solid so far. I love the decision-making there from both teams. Vicious recognizing that they probably couldn't get any more points, so they already rotate over to point 2 on the map. But even still, you saw that they kept one player as long as they possibly could on the initial hardpoint before rotating fully over.
Yep, Bash over there watching the overlook window in the middle. Did get to pick up a 2-piece there. We do have one person down below. That's going to be Easy Money Sniper trying to get the kill on Ranger, but sadly gets to get outshot. Going to hop on board with Ranger as he is in the hard point all by himself. Does get taken out himself. Easy Fierce now gets a 2-piece of his own. Geno Smash gets a quick kill on. That's going to be Easy Fletch. But Hardpoint still in control of Team Vicious as Geno does manage to clear it out with 15 seconds left.
He's trying to go ahead and lock down both of these rooms. Dropping the trophy system there. Interesting option. I guess because he didn't want to get flanked from the sides with grenades, and so he was opting to go for it from the side. Whereas if he was looking straight ahead, he has more clear sight lines, so he can be able to understand when the grenade is coming for him.
I agree with that play. It's just a fact of with only 15 seconds left in the hard point,
Yeah,
they should have been rotating. Because if you notice that Team Vicious did complete the rotation about 15 seconds before Kingdom even went over there, which Bash was the first one inside the hard point. Immediately gets taken out, and right now you see, Kingdom trying to get inside the hard point. Finally, Versus does manage to break it. Did get a two-piece, trying to go for the three, but does sadly get taken out there. But still, full control coming out from Vicious, as we do see the XCXD does get 1 kill on Bash. But hard point is being contested, but sadly not anymore.
Yeah, and good stuff by Vicious. That early rotation for them proved really vital in them starting to claw back into this game. About 8 points is the difference between these two, and you do see that Money has those gravity spikes available. I'm expecting him to probably stay on this hard point for a bit longer, maybe let some of his other teammates start rotating over.
I want to see, we actually see the kinetic armor out. I want to see where the Hive is. That's going to be Geno Smasher the Hive. He does have it 3/4 of the way there, so it's not quite there yet. Trying to get those kills up. Hive seems to be one of the ones that actually takes the longest to regenerate.
Man, and something worth noting is the fact that even though Kingdom had such a great start, especially now in the mid game, they seem to always be a step behind. They tried to contest the previous hard point, but they were just a second late, and it ended up swapping just as they were getting in there. And already that you saw that Vicious had rotated over. But Kingdom right back into this fray of things. They have pretty solid control right now as we climb on board with Bash. He's rushing up. We might be able to see a bit of an encounter coming up in the next couple of seconds as he makes his way up these steps. There's the encounter, but unfortunately it's not going in Bash's favor as Easy Money is going to be able to take him out. Hopping back onto Versus here. Versus, how do you think he's been doing overall in this game?
This game in general, 12-8, does have, he is doing the slaying potential, does have his annihilator pistol out, so he's going to look for some kills with this. He does spot the trophy system, though. Kind of currently wasting time. He needs to have teammates go in there. This is a one-shot, one kill. Just needs to get one little thing on it, but does waste one bullet as they do pop the VGAcade ability, but sadly, they do clean out the hard point again, and it's still in favor of Team Kingdom.
I didn't really like how well that special perk was really utilized. We didn't see too much action from that Annihilator, and that could have been pretty big, and maybe getting a little bit more control, but already it seems like they don't need it as Kingdom is just racking on these points. And I think that they're done a much better job of rotating early and locking down some of the hard points. We're finally going to be seeing a switch as Vicious is going to be able to use some of their specialist abilities to go and rush the initial spawn.
Yeah, I do not agree with the play that Fletch did. Fletch did bring out his scythe and got one kill with it, but kind of wasted it. When he's only 10-10, he kind of jumped in first. He should have his teammate going. He should have just played around the corners. 121-80 now. They still have time to get back, considering the fact they're still 3 minutes into the game, and it does, with the new rules in hardpoint, they still have you until you hit 250 basically, unless nobody's contesting the unless nobody's inside the hardpoint, or unless there's somebody contesting it, does only time go down. But as of right now, we see Bash SB92 is completely inside the hard point right now. Does get taken out by Fletch. Fletch is going to be taken out as well by Ranger though, so still inside. Money does have his gravity spike still readily available. It's going to be interesting to see how he does use these.
Yeah, and we saw another player actually with the Purifier ready. So I'm expecting the Purifier to be used for the hard point that's actually inside the house, because that's such a tight, contained sort of area that the Purifier would just work wonders there. Whereas the gravity spikes, I'd expect that to really be utilized on a more open hard point.
Yep, so it did seem like Geno did pull out the Hive. We did kind of miss that though, but he did just miss a player there in the garage. He's only one of his teammates in here, and I believe they are using shock charges, so shock charge is not being banned right now, but tactical mass does come in play for Geno, as he does pick up one kill, and that was on Easy Money.
He's trying to go ahead and lay down those trophy systems. He's mixing it up this time. He wants to go ahead and cover this left area rather than looking straight ahead like his teammate did previously.
Yeah, Ranger is trying to get a 3-kill streak here. Does pick up all 3 kills there, but Money does manage to take him out. We're going to hop aboard here, Money. Money's 16-60 right now, currently on positive for his team. Sadly not. One thing I do have to notice is if you look at the kills, it's kind of even out. Vicious does have a little bit of deficit considering Ranger is 24-15, but that is the only real big standing point coming out of this team Kingdom side. But Ranger also does have the longest time inside the hard point, being a minute 25 seconds.
Yeah, he's definitely going really big for his team right now. The fact that he has so much time in the hill, as well as a great KD means that he's really the guy who's helping lock down some of these hard points and really putting some points on the board for his team.
Do you see the shock charges get used again? So he does have the trip mine and the shock charge. So very interesting to see how this player is actually using this. A lot of people wouldn't say that could be competitive, but you know, maybe that might be something that they get banned in the next game type. If they get killed by the trip mine and shock charges enough, you know. But right now it's 166 and 113. Still any man's game right now. But hardpoint is being contested. That is going to be easy. Fierce inside the hardpoint with Fletch. Both of the men should clean out the hardpoint though. So we'll hop aboard here, Fierce.
Now, right now it just feels like Vicious has some nice control over this point, but there's going to be a lot of aggression coming in. Fierce is able to pick up one before being taken out by Bash. We're going to go over to Easy Money, who's still trying to go ahead and make sure that he can maybe lessen this lead that Kingdom currently has. The Scythe is on board. He spots one, but the grenade comes over, forces him to get a little bit of cover.
Yeah, did manage to get Versus by him, so Gino kind of doing what he needs to do there, just kind of playing it safe, you know, rotating back. 171 to 30, 136 right now. Gino does clear out the hard point, but Vicious is right there to kind of take it back. Mune Money, and that is going to be Fierce and Fletch inside the hard point now. They're coming through middle.
And we're seeing some of the problems that we saw from Kingdom in the mid game, right? Where they would rotate over and retake the hard point just before it would leave. And what that allowed Vicious to do is that they were already set up at the hard point right when it spawned. And you can see that they're putting points on the board now because of it.
Yep. One thing I have to say that Fletch went huge for his team. He got 2 big kills there that managed to get his team some remaining time on the hard point, at least some time on the hard point. They do have one person there though. That is going to be... That is finally Versus gets taken out. 13 seconds left right now. They gave it up about 15. I do not believe they should. Any point counts, especially considering that is 180, 162. And right now, I take it, you know, you're trying to rotate over to a new hard point, but you're 18 points down. You could be 10 points down.
And you can already see that there's the read that's being done by Team Kingdom, right? Kingdom already recognized the fact that that Vicious was going to rotate over and leave the hill, and so they rotated way ahead of time to ensure that they could go ahead and cap that hard point. And what that means is that Vicious didn't really gain anything from rotating over to the hard point initially. Ended up actually losing some points. But now it looks like they have some decent control. But you can already see a lot of members of Kingdom pile in, and it's going to prove a little bit too much as Easy Money's going to be overrun there.
Yep, and that's one thing that is kind of, you know, messed up. I think it was Easy Money. No, had to be Money. No, it was Money. He had the gravity spikes. He used them on a different hill. This would have been the hill that he needed them for the most. It would have been the most effective hill. You know, you did see originally Kingdom was in there. All 4 in there. He could have just came in, wall ran, and just used gravity spikes, cleaned out all 4 of them. But we do see the Annihilated Pistol being brought out by Versus. Will he use it better than what he did last time?
Oh, he's off to a great start. That's 2 quick kills in favor of Versus, and a third one as well. Versus is putting in some serious work right now with this pistol, locking down these steps so nicely. He's going to be rotating over a little bit. Let's see who else he can maybe knock out as the hardpoint goes and shifts over. He's going to be taken out by Fierce, but still fantastic overall.
He picked up his teammate. He killed Bash in the making. So 4 shots, 4 kills, but sadly one of them was on his own teammates. Versus does take out Easy Money Sniper though inside the hard point. Does pick up an easy 3-piece there. Currently 229 to 177. Team Kingdom's currently running away with this game right now.
You know, Vicious, they have their moments, but it might be a touch too late as Team Kingdom starts to climb higher and higher. 10 points away right now, but Vicious has something to say about it. They're back on the board. There's only a couple of seconds left in this hard point.
I do not agree with Money's play there. He used the gravity spikes just to kill Bash. It did get rid of Bash's Purifier, but only 8 seconds on the hard point. It was not the hard point he should have used on. He should have used it on this one with there's still 46 seconds left. Any spot of this game, and Ranger, you see himself in the kill feed, cleans out all 4 of them.
Wow.
All 4 of them dead.
I mean, I expected Ranger to definitely go big based on some of the perks that he chose, and going big is exactly what he did. I mean, just absolute destruction. 44 kills. That was absolutely fantastic to watch.
Yep. As we do see the final kill came in, it's going to be Ranger. Gets an easy 3-piece there. Kills 1 guy, turns around, kills 2 more. Reloads, longbow, quick draw, elo, and stock on his gun. Ranger going huge.
No, Ranger, I mean, he did a little bit of both, right? He put some nice points on the board, as we saw a minute 55 in the hill. But on top of that, he had some great kills as well. He's one of those more versatile players, I feel, right? He's solid when it comes to the rushdown, but especially whenever it came to actually retaking and maintaining control of those hills, that's where I saw him shine.
Yep. And, he did drop the 40 bomb versus coming close in second, dropping 37 and 20. But on the other end there, I don't believe anybody dropped 30 plus on that was Team Versus. As we do pull up the scoreboard here in a second, but just complete domination coming out from the slaying department from Kingdom there.
Yeah, and again, they had the right idea, right? I liked some of the fact that they would rotate over relatively quickly to ensure that they could lock down the hard point just as it would come back. But whenever they saw Kingdom starting to adapt to that, I feel like they didn't do any counterplay to really adapt to that adaptation, right? Mm-hmm. You have to have that counter for your opponent's counter ready to go. And I don't think that we really saw that so much from Team Vicious, because Kingdom, they started out strong. It seemed like Vicious was coming back. They made their adaptation, and then from there, they just kind of pulled ahead for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm. Completely agree, but next map is going to be Redwood Search and Destroy. One thing that Vicious needs to work on is they need to work on utilizing their specialist bonuses a lot better. There's a lot of times that they pulled it out when they shouldn't have pulled it out, and if you notice the amount of error that came in on Kingdom side with the specialist bonus, I only saw really one error was whenever a player pulled it out and he got killed immediately afterwards, which is just kind of like, oh, you didn't know it happened and it happened on you. But going to Redwood Search and Destroy, people are going to change the class a little bit more. Curious to see, is Awareness going to be banned or Dead Silence? But actually it looks like no class will be changed. This game is going to be starting in 5 seconds, going straight into this ban and protect system. Interesting to see.
And I wonder if we're going to be seeing any bans that are targeted specifically towards some of the stuff that we learned in that last game. I mean, what weapons really stuck out to you?
Well, it wasn't necessarily weapons. It was kind of, actually it was weapons. M8A7 was one of them. But the tacticals and these lethals that they were using, shock charges, trip mines, I could see those being banned in here, because what if it comes down to a 1v1 situation and somebody put down a trip mine and you hit the trip mine and you blow up because of that situation, and it wasn't even necessarily the player that was alive, and trip mine being banned, exactly like how I said, Ranger being the one that bans that, he's going to say, let's not deal with that, but Dead Silence being banned as well, so there's going to be no silence at all in this game. Interesting to see itself, as Blaster Price is banned as well, so everybody's going to know where they're going, and Vesper being banned.
Seems pretty standard so far. Again, no one really seems like they're ready to protect anything just yet, which I can appreciate, right? Sometimes, and I'm most guilty of this, I feel like I'm very locked in on one particular gun and one particular class and one particular style of play. And I think what one of the ban and protect systems forces you to do is it forces you to really be adaptable, right? Mm-hmm. It forces you to really be able to use as many weapons as you possibly can. Because if you become too telegraphed, and if one team really does their homework and knows that you have a tendency to go for one particular weapon, then your best bet is automatically off the table, and there's nothing really you can do about it.
No, you're completely correct. The one thing I do see, while we're not necessarily seeing as many protects as what we are bans, is the fact that we see a lot more bans on the items that are kind of redundant to use, like Trip Mine, Shark Charge, Blast Suppressor, but anything that would be necessarily banned in normal competitive play, or take it, these are the online league rules, but I see more people getting rid of that, because you take the fear of somebody using a trip mine, like I said, in Search and Destroy. What if somebody puts down a trip mine, it's a 1v1 situation, and you blow up because of it? How heartbreaking would that be to you to know that you got banned, or you got killed by somebody that wasn't even playing the game at the moment? I'd rather lose in a straight up gunfight knowing that I lost because I got bested by the other player instead of me running around on the map and getting blown up. That's just me personally, though.
That's fair. What are you thinking about some of these, specialist picks? I mean, it looks right now about a 1-to-1, with the main difference being that Versus has this kinetic armor. I love the fact that Glitch is an option. I think that Glitch is really interesting just because it kind of changes up some of the traditional things that come with this game type, right? Because whenever I think about this game type in my head, it's all about slowly locking down as much space as you possibly can, and then understanding exactly where an enemy will be confined to, right? There are so many situations where you can potentially corner someone in one particular room and they just can't do anything, right? You have the read. You've slowly taken up every inch of the map to the point where you confine them to this one spot, and from there you're able to go ahead and get the final shutdown that you need. But with Glitch, it makes it so that there's a bit of variability to that, right? You could be in the house, but you could click a button and all of a sudden be in a completely different area, which kind of renders some of that previous, I guess, thinking almost useless.
Yeah, it's really good whenever you can run into a house or run into a building. You could check the corners and then just glitch out of there, because then you'll know where the other player is, or what the kind of situation is. Kind of like if you want to compare it to Rainbow Six Siege, where in Rainbow Six Siege they have a little device that you could throw down on the ground, and it's this little remote drone that you can kind of go around. You can spot out the enemies, and then you can just necessarily blow up the building, kind of knowing where they're at. Vision Pulse is kind of that in a way. Once you get it, you can see people through walls. You can see people around your area that's on your screen, and they light up clear red, and they stay red until your vision pulse runs out. So, Gino and Easy Fletch, that's going to be very interesting to see if they can use it, if they'll get enough points to be able to use it. And I want to see them use it. Yeah, I feel like that could be very big going into, like round 11 Search and Destroy. One big thing I have to spot out, though, only one player was able to finish his classes. Blast Suppressor being banned, Dead Silence being banned, Awareness, Vesper, High Caliber, and Rapid Fire. Will they be able to use them? I know in past Call of Duties, if something was banned, you weren't able to use your class. I'm not too sure how it is in this Call of Duty, though. But we'll find out.
No, Psychosis, I think, is, for me, very interesting as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be used primarily whenever you're trying to get a plant in, because you want to figure out exactly where the defenders are, right, where they're located. And if you throw in an option like Psychosis, it basically kind of rats out where someone might be if they have those itchy trigger fingers, and they might preemptively start shooting. And so that's going to be really good for a lot of mind games, not only when it comes to actually planting the bomb, but potentially for retaking as well.
No, you're completely correct, especially when it comes down to like 1v1 situation. If you're sitting in a building, watching the bomb, you see 3 people come in, or anybody come in, you're going to be a little bit antsy about that. But who would you like to hop on board first as we start out this game number 2 on Redwood Search and Destroy?
I want to go ahead and check out Ranger. Ranger was fantastic in that last game. And I want to see what his role is really going to be in this team. What perks was he running with again?
He is currently running with Fast Hands and Tactical Master.
Right, and he has Glitch available as his option, as his specialist option, which makes sense as to why he's kind of inside this house right now, right? I think he's going to be locking down some of these areas a bit more slowly than the rest of his team, especially since seeing as he's playing on defense. Ooh, spots one, gets 2. Fantastic plays right there from Ranger. Doesn't even need to use the glitch just yet. And I'm looking for him to really go back up into this window. He probably knows that there must be at least 1 member left, and because of that, he's very cautious. And ooh, really big play there from Money. Gonna make this a 1-on-1.
I have to say, this started out being a 2v4 situation in favor of Team Vicious. With the play that Ranger did, was an amazing play, brought it down to a 2v2, and then Versus picked up 1 kill, bringing it down to a 2v1. Money, unfortunately picked up Ranger. Bomb is going to go down, though. Versus is completely on the other side of him, just trying to play it safe. But without Dead Silence, it's going to be very hard to make a move here without Money catching onto it.
Oh, man.
He's really playing it safe, but I think what's going to happen...
Oh, catches him off guard. Versus going to be destroying those trophy systems. Has plenty of time here to go ahead and get this disarm as well.
And this is what I'm talking about right now. He's checking around to seeing if there's anything on the ground that will prevent him or maybe blow him up. Also very good because he did shoot the trophy system. You do get points for that, which can go towards your score streaks as well as your specialist bonus. So very good play coming from Versus there. As we do see 1-0 victory, or 1-0 lead coming out from Team Kingdom. High Caliber, though, getting it for him. Did get hit once, but a headshot immediately just dinked, and he died.
So we saw a pretty solid push right out the gate from Team Vicious towards B. And now that the sides are switching, I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing a similar push, or if Kingdom maybe wants to go ahead and focus on A a bit more.
Yep, I'm going to hop on board here with Bash. Bash is the designated bomb carrier for this team. You know, we do see a B push coming out, like you said. Versus does pick up money. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Ash is going to be target B. Trophy system is down, though. We do have one player on the other side here that is going to be Fierce, as Fierce does get taken out. Bash will pick up 2 kills there on easy money sniper.
And that was so important for him to get the kills exactly when he did, but I don't think he spots the other red player that's going to be right next to him.
Bomb online.
Sorry, that was his teammate. I totally blanked out for a second. Easy round right there, though, for Vicious.
Yep, as Geno Smash does pick up Fletch. Easy kill there. Fail, long barrel, quick jaw. I think he did 2 bursts, and he was gone.
That was super simple.
And just like that, you know, Kingdom currently leading 2-0 now on the Search and Destroy game.
So far, 2 big pushes towards B, 1 from each team. And as the sides kind of swap again, actually no swaps of sides, but as we go back into Team Vicious, I want to see maybe a little bit of diversity. We're seeing that already. There's a big cluster of folks from Team Kingdom that are currently lined up around the area of that B bomb site, whereas A only has just 1 person holding that site down.
Now, I was to say, Shark Charge did get brought out from Team Kingdom. Fletcher's going to just kind of rotate back. Now he's going to rotate back over to his teammates. Bash currently getting shot up, though, so curious to see what happens. But he does hit the tactical mask, so try and get the destroy Shark Charge there. But Easy Money Sniper spots 1, but he's currently full red right now.
Yeah, truth be told, I don't like the idea of forcing this B push. I'd be a lot more satisfied, I think, with a rotation over to A. Especially if they can maybe take out this 1 player. Then they might have a little bit more of an opportunity to get that plant in. But right now, it's looking like it's going to be a 3v1. Fierce will be meeting his demise, but all of a sudden, it looks like this game is going to be evened up a bit. 1v2 right now. Scratch that, it's a 1v1, but it looks like Bash is going to be taking out the money sniper.
Yep, as 3-0 now in favor of Team Kingdom. You know, Kingdom's coming back with a vengeance now. You know, they're not going to go down 0-2. They want to go up 2-0 in this and say, hey, you know, we just lost that last week because we didn't have a 4th. We didn't have a main player. And, you know, it's going to be very interesting to see how this actually happens. As we look at the scoreboard, 4-1 from Versus, 4-1 from Bash, 3-1 from Ranger. On the other end, you have Fletch, 2-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3.
Okay, so Kingdom made a really big B push. And that seems to be the trend right now on this map, is everyone is pushing B. But this is when I think that you really need to use some of that misinformation. Maybe fake the push towards B and start going towards A. Either way, Kingdom needs to do something to get points on the board. Already, you see so many members of Team Vicious set up around this B bomb site. So this is probably going to be snuffed out very quickly as Bash is going in for this plant right now. Will he even have time to stand up here? He's going to be using that as cover. And look, the second that he escapes away from the bomb plant site, he gets picked off because they already know exactly where Vicious is hoping to plant.
You know, Versus is right below Fletch right here. Like, if Fletch was to look down... Okay, I was about to say, you have to see him.
Oh, man, you got to love it. But, yeah, this is a 1v2 right now for
he needs to hop on the bomb. He has no time right now. He's waiting, and 12 seconds left.
Geno only has to shutdown. Kills 1, and that's it. That's it.
There's no time.
There's not enough time to go ahead and get the defuse in. I think that because of this,
there's no way that there's enough time.
Oh man, just a touch short there. Just a touch short.
Yep. 4-0 now from Team Kingdom, and a big thing that happened was Bash has full streaks. He has all his score streaks. He has a counter UAV, he has a dart, and he has the hover card. Also, you know, I did notice Bash is using the thermite.
Man, that was just such a huge play at the end there, right? It was so important for him to go and get that kill.
It was a play that Vicious really honestly messed up on. You know, they had a 2v1 situation, and that's the point in time. That guy that was on bomb should have been defusing bomb. But sadly enough, he wasn't. You know, we will actually see... Never mind, we won't see an A push. You know, I do not agree with this either, with Fletch having the bomb and immediately going to bunker right now.
Yeah, and by setting up 1 there you can already see the bit of the counter rotation. You saw a player that was in between, dawdling in between A and B, and he's already kind of rotating a bit more towards B, where we still have that lone strangler rushing, covering around A outside. But the bomb push, speaking of which, looks like Vicious is trying to go ahead and make this A push happen. But there's just 1 defender they need to get by. It's going to be a bit of a gunfight, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like Vicious is going to be coming out on top as Versus from Kingdom is going to be shutting down that push. And they're, again, not really that much of a rotation. They don't want to get faked out just yet, but it doesn't even matter because Vicious is able to go ahead and use that streak to go ahead and clean up what's left.
Yep, Bash does get the dart kill with him using the rockets there. Says, hey, you know what? Meet my missile. But I do not agree, man. Vicious is playing this like... Vicious played the hard point very well. But it seems like they're more of a respawn team than Search and Destroy team. And playing Search and Destroy is a lot, actually, sorry, not even a little bit different. A lot different than playing respawn. You only do get one life, but actually we will see a full-on A push coming out here from Team Kingdom.
And this is what you definitely need. They have the hard lockdown on B. They got that hard read. And because of this, I expect this A push to be really simple here. Kingdom is going to go ahead and get a pretty early bomb plant. And it's going to be... Oh, wow. This is going to be a really interesting interaction that's coming up.
Yep, Ranger does get stunned, though. But he does manage to get out. I believe he did use that glitch feature that we did just see. Does pick up another kill. Easy Fierce managed to pick up Geno Smash. Will he get the kill, though? Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, good.
Would have been cool. It would have been cool.
It would have.
Let's go ahead and go over to Money. He's the last member left of Team Vicious, the last hope that this team has alive. But already you can see there are so many members of Team Kingdom locked all the way around, nowhere to hide, and Kingdom is going to sweep Vicious there on Search and Destroy.
Yep, 6-0. Kingdom completely dominating there, showing that they know how to play this map, Search and Destroy. Redwood Search and Destroy is clearly their map. You know, I like the play there that Bash did. He used his counter UAV on the last round. They full-on pushed A. They only had one defender at A. Versus picked him up immediately, got the bomb down, and just like that, took the round. And Ranger saying, hey, you know what? I'm better than y'all. I'm going to go out there, try and get the kills. Almost got the ace there. 9-2 from Versus, 6-4 from Ranger, 3-4 from Geno, 6-2 from Bash. On the other end, 1-6, 4-6, 3-6, and 4-6.
Man. I'll tell you what, it just seems like whenever they had control of that A bomb site, it was so difficult for them to retake that. Almost every angle of coming at the bomb was blocked off. The only thing that they maybe could have done was set up a potential flank, but they didn't even have enough time or resources in terms of manpower to do that either. So just a really great lockdown at the end there by Team Kingdom. I love the push for A at the end. It was a great counterplay to all the B pushes that we had seen throughout the entirety of that second map. But yeah, what were your thoughts on that map?
It was all in favor of Team Kingdom. I agree with you on the last push. A bomb site, if you can take that as offense, it is very hard for defense to take that back. And that is something we actually saw there from the last push. Even if it was a 3v1 or 3v4 situation, I still believe Kingdom would have won that. But anyways, as we do change host here going into game number 3, it's going to be evac on uplink. We're going to do a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, BenQ. Use the code versus $20 for $20 off the official BenQ monitor, gaming monitor, and use code versus $40 for $40 off the refurbished BenQ gaming monitor at benq.us, and we have a quick commercial from them.
Alright, today is day 0 for Versus Gameplay Arcade. So I invited a couple people that I know and trust who have kind of been with me and with us since the first the first tournament that I ran almost 6 years ago out of a little gym, not knowing anything about running tournaments. They've come out and they're kind of helping me dry test the place, make sure the power works, the setups work, the internet works. so far so good. We're at about 70%, but so far some good feedback.
Right now we're here at the Verse Gameplay Arcade preview space. This is basically the temporary space that we have in here to kind of show everybody exactly what we're doing, let you guys know that, you know, we're here for the community to help you guys out and give y'all somewhere to go throughout the week if you want to play different games and, you know, also practice with the locals and do just a whole bunch of different things. With the preview space, we do have, you know, a few setups here and also the arcade games. We're just going to do it big for everybody out here in the DFW, and right now we're just kind of starting it off just to give you guys a little preview of what, you know, we have in store for you.
I want to thank everyone for coming out. It was a free invitational event, so hopefully everyone had a good time. We had food and drinks for everyone, and we're having a Street Fighter Invitational tournament where the winner will get a really nice Day Zero jersey shirt. Again, today's theme was just to kind of have fun, give me some good feedback, give us some good feedback. So thanks to everyone who came out. Thanks to Mike, Markel, and Luis for all of us getting together and putting this together. So hopefully good things are here to come. Thanks.
Welcome, guys. We're back at versus Gameplay Arcade. Interesting game number 2 we had there.
Yeah, a bit of a sweep in favor of Kingdom there. Again, we didn't really see that counterplay that we needed to see from Vicious. And because of that, they really didn't get anything on the board. They had that one time, that one round where we thought that maybe something could change, but just such a huge play at the end there. Just enough time disrupted to prevent the bomb from being defused.
No, you're completely correct there. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this actually goes into game number 2. We'll see what happens, though. Oh, not the game number 2. Game number 3. Sorry, I'm out of it as well,
Dude,
man.
Numbers are hard, man. Numbers are hard.
I know. I can't count.
I mean, I don't blame you. You maybe just want to forget that last map as well. I know that Vicious definitely does because they got absolutely shut down. But who knows? Maybe Uplink might be their jam.
Might be, but, you know, we're not even going into game number 3 yet as Money is not currently in his team, so not too sure if they can actually end it. Can you end it during the ban and protect phase? I do not think you can. I think
sure.
they're just banning anything at the moment. Like, they're not even, like, trying to ban nothing good because Mothership, let's be honest, I don't think nobody's going to get a Mothership. If you get a Mothership...
Yo, shout outs to Combat Axe. Why
Right?
did anybody protect that?
Man, I play with a guy. Like, if you give him the combat axe or tomahawk or throwing knife, he will use it. He will use it.
Give a man a combat axe and he'll feed himself for a day. Teach a man to combat axe. And apparently he's going to use that for the entirety of the map. Unless it gets banned. Unless it gets banned.
Yep, unless it's get banned. You know, this is some weird, like, this is like 10 bans and protects coming out here from Bash. Like, what happened? Like, there's 10, 12? Not too sure.
I guess this is what happens whenever not everybody's logged in. Sorry for the bit of an error here.
Yeah, Bash Mealy, you know, we've seen this before where he was able to pick his overdrive. It was Ranger, though, that had the Temp. It was not the Tempest one. It was the
Ranger had the scythe.
Yeah, it was the Scythe. That was it. That was it.
Remember the cameras on.
Yep.
Yeah, the Ripper, man. I think that I had a little bit of an error actually at the beginning of this. The Scythe, it's not the Scythe, it's the Ripper that actually is the fastest streak to charge it, right? And that's the one that gives you like the one-hit extended melee kill option. And yeah, I see that a lot, I guess, with some of these more run-gun oriented types of players. And whereas the Scythe is like that standing machine gun, right? Which is really, really good, especially whenever it comes down to clearing out some rooms and areas.
Completely correct there. But as we do go into this, going back out as Money will be able to get back into his game and hopefully might see some good action on Evac Uplink. Evac is actually the map that I saw Optic. It was like 20-0 on.
Didn't they score 16 points or something in the second half?
Yeah, it was like in one half they scored 16 points. It's like, man, I've never seen that happen. Like, the casters are saying that too. I think it was Maven and Mr. X casting that game too. And he's like, I've never seen somebody score 16 points in one game. Or in one half at least, you know?
There aren't any point caps. So
nope, not in this Call of Duty.
We could see some crazy high point scores.
No, you got completely correct. You know, in Advanced Warfare, they did have it at 10-point max. This year, they have it at 0. So, you can get one side can prove you be back into the game. Exactly. And on this one, it actually does seem to be more on one side. The side that we're on right now, if I'm not mistaken, that is the side you want to have, as it is makes for easy 1-point plays coming in from the opposite side of the area. But we'll see a big gunfight coming down on the left-hand side of the map in the pool area where the satellite spawns, or ball, whatever you want to call it.
They're actually going to be doing a 3v3. That's what they're going to be doing. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, yeah. They're going to go ahead and switch things up a bit here. Make sure that Money can actually log in.
Yep. Money can get into the game, and hopefully, we'll see some life coming out from Team Vicious here. But, on the other side, we'll see what happens. We'll just have to wait and see, as we are currently waiting on the game to reload. Money should be able to get right on his team, and then we should be going straight into game number 3 on evac uplink. Very interesting to see how it started with 4 players and it ended up with actually only 3 on their side. Not too sure how that really worked out there. Auto balancing,
Technology,
maybe?
man. Technology's nuts sometimes. But going back, what are the keys to success here for Vicious? Right, they're down by 2 maps. They need to get this map just to stay alive. I mean, what's going through your mind right now, and what do you need to do to get back into it?
1, they cannot let the previous game affect them. I know that they just got 6-0'd on Search and Destroy Redwood, but they cannot let that affect them. Right now, Kingdom has all the momentum. Kingdom is a very, I wouldn't say necessarily, arrogant team, but they are really, say, hey, we just want to play. We just want to prove that we're better. We want to practice. We want to go.
They're confident.
Yeah, they're confident. That's what you can say. They're confident in their gameplay, and that's one thing that Vicious has to be in. They have to be confident in gameplay. They have to be confident in what they're doing. And especially in Hardpoint, they had a really good aspect behind that. But they were using their score streaks wrong. You cannot use your score streak wrong in this one. You cannot. Especially in Uplink. One thing they need to do is they either need to ban Overdrive, or they need to have one of their members that actually can get some kills and run the ball, have Overdrive. That's going to be one big thing that happens in this game. Besides from that, they just have to be more on the slaying department and rotating back to the spawn. Not too sure how evac is going to be played with them, but if they do not rotate back, like I said, I've known Bash since Modern Warfare 3. That's 4 reiterations of Call of Duty. I personally do not know anybody on Vicious, but I know Bash has the knowledge from past Call of Duties that he can rotate back onto his team, or at least give his team. If Vicious is a brand new team with brand new players, they may not have that game knowledge for that, a veteran would have.
Well, Bash with that veteran knowledge is going to be doing exactly what you called, banning that overdrive, which means that we're not necessarily going to be seeing anyone grab the ball and then get away for dear life with that perk. But the first protect is going to be high caliber in favor of Fierce. That's really interesting. I mean, what do you think is his rationale behind really protecting that?
To be honest with you, I'm not too sure why they did, because high caliber seemed to be more effective for Versus and Ranger than what it did seem to be for Vicious. So by protecting that, you're kind of helping Versus and Ranger, in my opinion. Unless he honestly thinks that may be one of the reasons why he hasn't worked that well. But I don't believe he should have protected that. I think he could have banned something else like Hive or necessary rejack or glitch, because that Hive is gonna be another big thing being played here. Somebody gets a Hive, they can put that down on the ground, and if you have the satellite and you run over it, you're dead, and that's it.
I mean, you could be looking for some wall bangs and options like
True.
that, right? Especially when you think about where that satellite spawns.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many opportunities to get wall bangs in that area. So that might be what's going through his mind. Maybe trying to go ahead and put on a little bit of pressure from afar. And whenever someone thinks that they're ducking under cover, it's not actually the case.
Primary gunfighter 1 being banned, so no more 3 attachments on your gun. You only will have 2. And I know grip and quick draw stock are top 3, as well as high caliber. So you kind of have to give up. Would you give up quick draw to get high caliber? Would you give up stock to get high caliber? Would you necessarily go with stock and quick draw? Would you just say, nah, I don't need high caliber at all? What could we see here? Heatwave is a good perk, I believe, or a good specialist in this game at least. He could necessarily go in and just heatwave everybody, which kind of slows them all down. Psychosis Scythe also being really used, Connect Arm being used, Annihilator being pulled out for the last 2 from Versus and Money. Versus used it a lot better than what Money did last game, or at least what the player did on Vicious.
You know, truth be told, I was expecting a lot more kinetic armor. I think that that's one of the best perks that are out there for this game type, especially given the fact that overdrive is banned. The fact that it makes it that much harder to kill the ball carrier means that you can set up for so many more dunk opportunities than you could previously.
So here's a question I have. I don't know. It hasn't been answered yet in a show match. If you use kinetic armor and they have an annihilated pistol, if they were to hit you with an annihilated pistol, would it kill you? Would it kill you? Because kinetic armor blocks everything that hits you besides headshots.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not, I mean, well, I mean, I haven't like seen that really being used, but in my eyes, it's not an explosive. If they don't get the headshot, then I don't see why it would kill.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that. That's how I see it. But then again, on the other hand, Annihilator is a one-shot, one-kill. So I could see necessarily it could be broken or it could be working exactly how they want it. But then again, I would think that kinetic armor would overtake that.
I bet there's probably like a YouTube video or like 30, right?
Right? That say, hey, does this work?
I mean, just thinking about it logically, it would make sense. But that would be a really funny interaction if Versus tries to shoot at Easy Money, who has that kinetic armor on, and he ends up getting saved, and he doesn't get that one-shot kill because of it. That would be really cool.
That would be. Unless he was to get the headshot, which would be like, oh, man, you had one hit that you had to get on me. You hit it.
So this Psychosis pick from Gino, what are you thinking?
Psychosis from Gino, I see that being mainly used in probably the middle area and also on the poolside area that would actually have the satellite. You can necessarily use it to go into the hard or going in and get the satellite zone, getting it for, Bash. Like I said, Bash is the main objective for the team, and then kind of rotating back out. Also, he can necessarily use it to go in, see if anybody's in the room because more than likely they're going to shoot at one of them. And then he could, easily go in and just pick up the kill on them. But game does start in 1 second as we head into evac on uplink between Kingdom and Vicious. Kingdom looking to secure the 3-0 victory over Vicious. Vicious looking to get their first game to stay alive in this show match.
Oh yeah, and Heatwave versus Kinetic Armor. that's gonna be interesting for sure. Let's see who's gonna really be coming out on top. Like I mentioned before, for Vicious, this is it. This is do or die mode. So I want to see some really big things from them here.
Yep. I will say this also. One thing that necessarily could go into Kingdom's picks is because Kingdom knows that they have outslayed him completely on hardpoint and on Search and Destroy, whereas the kinetic armor is basically a thing that you are afraid of dying. He way more so the fact they're saying, hey, I'm just going to kill you. So maybe Kingdom has the confidence that say, hey, I've outslayed you all the previous games. What makes this game any different besides this uplink? But we're going to hop on board here with Bash, as Bash is going to be the main OBJ. And he will be first one inside of the poolside area here, as he does manage to get the satellite drone. Ranger versus picks up 2 kills. Easy Fletch picks up Ranger, though. But currently right now, Bash only has 1 person, and just like that, all 4 of them go down. Only 2 people inside spawn. And finally, Easy Money picks up the kill on Bash.
Oh yeah. Now Money there going to be taken out by Smash, who's going to be taken out by Money Sniper, who we've seen quite a bit light up those kill streaks. Right now, I want my eyes going towards the red team, right? I want my eyes looking primarily at Ranger from Kingdom, because he's been, I think, one of those players who has been consistently so solid. Of course he gets sniped right when I say that.
One thing I necessarily do not like this play, but it actually kind of worked for him, which I do not believe it should have worked, is the fact that it seemed like Easy Money Sniper is kind of like, what do I need to do here? As they do get 1 point on the board, first point would be from Easy Money Sniper. He kind of rotated back. He first went to the right side of the map, then he went to the middle, then he went to the left, then he went back to the middle, and then he finally committed to the left side of the map. Theoretically speaking, that should not have worked, but it worked because Kingdom was in their base and they were just kind of waiting for them to push up, and eventually somebody pushed up on the right side and managed to flank him and pick up 2 kills. Ranger does pick up 2 kills himself there, so he picks up a 3rd, as the Bash is going to have the ball inside the spawn, does have one, try and go for the 1 point play, does miss it though and will bounce outside the map, but Geno's will be the first one there and manage to pick up the ball, but he does have 2 people in front of him that he has to get the kills on, but sadly only picks up 1 kill, but does manage to kill enough time so his teammates can spawn back up and get full control.
we're going over to Bash, who does have that ball like you mentioned before, Shadow. Using this wall run here. Going to go ahead and sneak around. You can already see there's going to be a lot of opposition that's going to be waiting for him, and he's going to be getting picked off there. That's easy money Sniper with the stop.
I do agree with necessarily him using the wall running factor, but I think the confidence is kind of getting to their head right now, and hopefully they can fix that, because a lot of them are using, instead of waiting for their teammates to push up and then pushing up with the satellite, which is what Vicious did, you see more so grabbing the ball, seeing if we can outrun him, and pushing up. And Bash did that twice, and both times he got taken out, and just like that he got taken out a third time, but sadly he had Ranger in the way. But, you know, he actually did get, he did fix a mistake. You know, he threw down the satellite and tried to pick up the kills, but sadly he was taken out. As we will see, I believe that is going to be easy money Sniper again with the ball, as he is currently outrunning on side. Does manage to use that boosting feature to get back on the map, but sadly does fall off there.
Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. But thinking about this, who do you think has the advantage, right? I know it's a little bit of contention as to whether red or green starts with the advantage, but which side do you think has that slight advantage whenever you go into an up match?
The green side of the map at the moment. It's you know, basically it's kind of like, if you want to re-reference it to Comeback Uplink. Comeback Uplink had one really good side and one really bad side. This map right here itself has one really good side and one really bad side, where you can see, I believe that's easy money Sniper. You can easily get 1 point play there or get 2 point play just by doing that. On the other side, you have to go on the left side of the map, and hopefully you won't necessarily be able to do it, but you have to go along the border area, which is basically, hey, I'm here, but instead you have the wall of sight or line of sight from the wall. So I believe Vicious is on a good side now, and that does prove to be, but you will see easy money Sniper. He is destined to get this one play.
Still clinging out his wall for all that he can. The movement that we're seeing right now, but I think he's going to be just a touch short there. Very unfortunate.
Man, he's done that twice now. Each side he gets further. You know, has he done it before in the past? Has he seen somebody else do it? That's a question, as we do see Money pulled out the Annihilator pistol. Does waste one shot, though. Does have 5 more in his round. But currently just kind of waiting, as we will see the necessarily 1 point play try and come back into play, but Versus does manage to take out Money there.
And that's so unfortunate for him. The fact that he had popped that specialist perk just when he did, only to use it to no avail. Definitely a talking point. But so is this Katie that we're seeing from Bash, who we're logging into. Definitely has not had the best game so far, seeing as he's at just 2 and 10.
Yeah, this must be really, you know, disheartening for him. But easy money, did he manage? No, sorry, that was not easy money. Money managed to get the 1 point play there. 6-0. 5 minutes into the game. You know, hey, anybody still game here? I believe Kingdom can come back with an easy 2 point plays. And I think that we probably would see that from them on this side. But we do see another try and go for 1 point play, but sadly he does miss it.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. In your eyes, do you think that the side that Kingdom will be swapping to will be the stronger side, correct?
Yes. But we will see.
Oh, just stuff short of getting that dunk when he needed to. That's going to put it at 6-0 in favor of Team Kingdom.
Yep. Now, I do not know who I'll spectate at the end, but I did recognize one thing. They have the Guardian. That can be used really well, but also can not be used really well. In Uplink, it's much harder to use than what it is in CTF, because CTF you can kind of just put on your flag and had that, you know, Guardian heat wave on the flag, and as soon as they hit the flag, they're going to be stunned. But let me see who that was. That was on Vicious, and it is going to be Easy Fierce that has the Guardian out on his team. But let's look at the score streaks, as we do see Bash with the heat wave, and we actually see Fletch with the scythe, as he does pull out the scythe. Does have one player down on the far right there. That's going to be Ranger. Ranger has a good ability, but he does have the scythe out himself. Going to push towards middle, and right now it seems like it's going to be easy 1 point play coming out here from Easy Money Sniper. But only has one person contesting it.
Ooh, and that one person was all that it took really to shut down that play.
Yep.
Let's go over to Bash. He didn't have the best time last round when it came to the slaying department, but I want to see how he does now that he has control of that objective. But that's how Uplink, he's hoping to go ahead and maybe put some points on the board for his team, but there really isn't that much cover, but no coverage needed. That was a fantastic toss from them. He's finally going to be putting some points on the board in favor of Team Kingdom.
Yep, Bash does. I think he did spot one to his left. Never mind, he did not spot him. But, you know, 1 point play coming out in the first 60 seconds, 4 minutes left in the game. Easily anybody's game right now. But they have to do some slaying, and they have to get some map control here. And that's what Vicious has right now, is the map control that they need. As I believe that is going to be Money. Oh, sorry, Easy Fierce just kind of playing the little elbow area there. Does see the heat wave feature being brought out by Bash, as Bash does try to go for a 2-point play, but does sadly get taken out behind him, as that is going to be Easy Money Sniper. Does have the ball as he will run along the side of the map again. He's destined to get this play.
No, and even if he doesn't necessarily make it back, one thing that this allows him to do is that it ticks away at the clock, right? It's almost like a timer scam of sorts. Notice how much time he's been in control of this ball without really giving that many opportunities for Team Kingdom to go and take it back, right? It's not even the fact that he needs to put more points on the map, but even by preventing Team Kingdom from getting any more points, they still kind of achieve that one-win condition.
How is he still alive there? That was my question. Going for the 1-point play, does miss it though.
He's got the jukes. He was getting those ankle breaks in just when he needed to.
Yep. I do agree with the Easy Money Sniper going along the edge, because it's an easy way that if you were managed to get it, you can't kill somebody from that angle. You can't. And I want to know who has this ball. It's going to be Bash. I should just automatically assume it's Bash, I guess.
Yeah, Bash seems to be the one that's pretty keen on running it in. He throws it long, but it's going to be a touch too long indeed. Just high there from getting that single point that he was looking for. And it looks like Kingdom is really struggling in the uplink, despite having such a successful series on both Search and Destroy and on Hardpoint.
Yep. I think Bash needs to stop playing the OBJ right now. He needs to just kind of focus on getting his kills. He is currently 4-17. He was originally 2-10. So went 2-7, does have one down to his right, does pick up his 5th kill of the game right now. He just needs to focus on kills and let his teammates necessarily kind of do the OBJ work for him, I believe, as of right now.
See, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, how has he done in previous games, right? Whenever I think about kills, I always think about Ranger more than anyone else.
I agree. But whenever you have a 5-second respawn timer, in hardpoint it doesn't matter as much, but we do see a 2-point play coming out here from Fletch. But in hardpoint don't matter as much because you do have no respawn. But when you're going 4-7 or 5-19 now, and there's a 5-second respawn, it really hurts your team because that's 5 seconds you're down that they have to play 3v4. And if you look at the other side, Easy Money Sniper 9-15, that's their lowest score. Easy Fierce 27-15, Easy Fletch 22-16.
Wow, it just feels like every single opportunity is being stuffed out right now. But Bash hoping to maybe clear away. They need to get a dunk here. He spots one, but he's going to be taken out there without really doing much damage. Easy Money Sniper absolutely demolishing this Kingdom team and stuffing that run just before they can go and score some points.
Yep, going hop on board here with Easy Fierce. Easy Fierce does have his teammate protecting the ball. That's going to be Easy Money Sniper. Easy Fierce currently the anchor for his team right now is the Slayer. Does spot one player using his Psychosis ability to the perfect maximum ability. Does get taken out though, and that's going to be Easy Money Sniper. Going for that wall run play, as I did say there.
Oh,
did get the satellite uplink though.
He still got it. He still ended up getting it. Even though they shot him down, the ball went from his dead body onto the satellite uplink itself. That was ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous.
Yep, and they managed to get a 1-point play out of it. And just like that, 9-1. Do see some life coming out here from Team Vicious, as Vicious will take game number 3, uplink on evac. As there is really no time left for Kingdom to make a comeback.
Oh man, it would just be so hard. I wouldn't really even be surprised if we see one of those wall runs that we saw before, right? It just would make so much sense here, especially as this clock is ticking away. Easy Money Sniper holding on to this. He knows that there isn't really any pressure to do much of anything except to keep the ball away, but he might go for that last second play at the end and almost gets it as well. 9-1 is going to be the final score here, and Vicious finally take their first map.
Yep. And that's one thing I will have to say that Vicious did a lot better was they played more together as a team. They waited for their teammates to kind of push up, whereas if you looked on Kingdom's side, Kingdom necessarily didn't do that. They were pushing up all individually, and they got picked off because of it. The scoreboard speaks for itself. 30-19 from Fierce, 20-21 from Money. Fletch, 22-21. On the other end, you have 20-21 from Ranger, 22-17 from Versus, 28-23 from Gino. The two Slayers on Team Kingdom didn't even show up, basically. Well, they did, but not to what we see them usually at.
Yeah, it was just drastic improvement, I feel, overall that we saw from Team Vicious. For Team Kingdom, going into capture the flag, they definitely have a couple of kinks that they need to work out.
I completely agree with that. King capture the flag on Breach. The last two game modes are going to be, last two maps will be on Breach. Capture the flag and Search and Destroy. They need to play together as a team. I will say this, with CTF being in past Call of Duties, but not being in Ghost or in Advanced Warfare, I believe Kingdom has a better opportunity at this than what Vicious does. Because like I said, I believe Vicious is probably a brand new team that started out in the past 3 Call of Duties. I do not believe Black Ops 2 necessarily was their first Call of Duty. If it was, that was their first. And unless they practice a lot of capture the flag, I couldn't necessarily see that Kingdom will take this. But all matters just comes down to the game rules. But guys, one thing we want to speak out, you saw earlier about the arcade. We actually want to speak about it. We're located here at 9750 Walnut Street, Dallas, Texas, Suite 194. Mondays we do our Call of Duty Black Ops 3 show match. Tuesday is Super Smash Bros. Wednesdays we have a Halo 5 show match, which you can sign up for on versusgameplay.com, as well as you can find the link on versusgame or twitter.com/versusgameplay. And on Thursdays we have Street Fighter Casuals, and then you can finish out Friday through Sunday, man.
Fridays is the Mortal Kombat X weekly. Saturdays the Ultra Street Fighter 4 weekly. And Sundays, that Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 weekly. So plenty of games available regardless of what kind of player you are. Make sure you come on by and get as many games in with as many folks as you can.
Yep, and then also I believe it's this Saturday, we have the Art Institute of Dallas fundraiser here at the Versus Gameplay Arcade. Games begin at 1:30 p.m., $10 for the venue and $10 per game you enter. Half of all the venue fee goes towards the Art Institute of Dallas. Raffles will be here and the games will be Puzzle Fighter, NBA 2K16, Guilty Gear XRD, Smash 4, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mortal Kombat X, and Ultra Street Fighter 4. And I'll be here at the Versus Gameplay Arcade, and it supports the Art Institute of Dallas.
Did you catch the Capcom Cup last night, man? That was intense.
Sadly, I did not. I saw the Capcom Cup at, when we were at the Battlefront party we had. A couple of things going on there. But I did not catch the finals, and I heard that the finals was actually the original person that actually won the first ever Street Fighter major in 2009, placed second, and then a newcomer, well, not necessarily a newcomer, quote unquote, took the first prize for $120,000.
Daigo the Beast, man. Daigo Umehara, dude, he had so many fantastic moments. I feel in that tournament, it was crazy. And even though he didn't come out on top, I was so happy to see him put up a fight near the end there, man.
I heard it was like 3-2, right, for the final set.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I think Kazunoko ended up 3-0ing both
everybody,
the winners semis person as well as the winners finals person, right? Mm-hmm. And so for Daigo to come back and make it that close of a set at the end, absolutely pristine.
Yeah, I read an article on Daily Dot was that the person who won, I forgot, you say his name, I don't know. Yeah, Kazunoko was basically untouchable throughout the whole game, or throughout the whole tournament, and then finally we see something coming out of him that actually said, hey, we'll say, hey, they actually see some vulnerability coming out. But we had to switch up the codcasters, that they did switch teams here. Or let me switch up the team names here. Man, they switched sides at the last second, man. Happens to us best. But let's get the team names correct here real quick, and then we'll hop into game number 4. Potentially last game, or potentially might see game 5 coming out here.
I mean, if we can maybe see some more signs of life from Vicious like we saw in that last game, then maybe. But like you mentioned, capture the flag, an entirely different demon here.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I do have to say myself is the fact of, if we do see a game 5, what can Vicious do to take the game 5? We saw him get 6-0 in Search and Destroy. Can we? I just don't see him winning Search and Destroy if it does go to a game 5. They'd have to make a lot of improvements, which necessarily they can, but we'll have to see. As we do have the going into the Ban Protect phase, Fierce versus Ranger.
It's going to be all about that adaptation, and I think that maybe Ban and Protect is going to be where we're going to be seeing some signs of that, perhaps. Mm-hmm. With these initial bans, looks like High Caliber. We saw that Protected previously, and Ranger's going to go ahead and just take that off the table right away.
Mm-hmm. Quick Draw being brought out from Fierce, so another big play. Quick Draw. That's going to mess up a lot of players. I guarantee you right now on Kingdom, they're like, man, these guys just banned Quick Draw. They banned one of the most important attachments I use. Rapid Fire being brought out from Bash being banned. Not saying no to Vesper's. Vesper being not banned yet. Vesper's usually one of the first 3 picks we usually see here. But we see come out here from Easy Money Sniper. He must be really talking about the strategy because he only has 4 seconds left. And finally, Overdrive being banned as well. I do agree with that ban. Yeah,
I think that on CTF in particular, Overdrive is one of those specialist perks where if you use it and you have control of the flag, it is so hard to deal with. It is so hard. I saw so many times this weekend where someone would pop overdrive just in the right time. And even if they had rotated over towards where they'd have to actually bring the flag, the fact that the player ran that quickly at the angle that they would run from made it so difficult. And that combined, I guess, with some of the momentum tricks that you can do in this game, it's just such a tough part to deal with.
Vespa being the one of the last bans we have, Money trying to do it. CTF would have to be the hardest ones to really ban and protect on, because CTF is the one that, you know, the Hive is going to be really big in, Trip Mine's going to be really big in, Shock Charger's going to be really big in, Guardian, Sentry Gun will be really big in, because all those things you can have at your flag, and it all gives you a notification of where somebody's at if they're grabbing your flag. So you don't have to have somebody watching your flag to know somebody's there.
So they shut out Heatwave as well, and Heatwave, how does that really work with some of that equipment that you mentioned before?
Heatwave will actually deteriorate the equipment. I believe it will actually blow it up itself, so it's an easy way to kind of go in for a flag and just demolition, but demolition, or whatever you want to call it. But it will kill all the equipment they have on that flag. I'm not too sure if it works with score streaks the same way, but we do see Kinetic Armor Psychosis being brought out, Vision Pulse. I want to see a Hive. I think the Hive will be really good here, and I also believe that it will actually be one of the biggest perks that can be brought out from either Kingdom or Vicious. But we'll see what happens as we do wait for Geno Smash. Geno Smash really thinking about the specialist pick, and I guarantee he's probably thinking about some of the ones that he necessarily wouldn't use normally, but necessarily what could be good in CTF.
I mean, especially since Overdrive is off the table, I can even make a case for something like the Annihilator, which sounds so strange, but I think that there's going to be a lot of times, yep, there's the Annihilator that I was expecting. There's going to be some moments where you really need to shut someone down as quick as you possibly can, and I see the Annihilator being that kind of weapon.
Hive being brought out from Geno, so that we want to see that be used. That can be really used well for placing it at their flag and placing it at your flag, because it can also prevent the capture as well. They can just run over it and immediately die because of it and won't get the flag cap. But 75 seconds to create a class here. Really, we have not seen any game so far where every single team has been able to create the class and completely been, good about it. We've always had about 3 to 4 people where they have not been able to finish creating the classes. This one not being so many bans and picks besides weapons. So, interesting to see how this actually will be played out. Going into the first create class weapon being Ranger being picked up versus finally getting his create class done. What necessarily do you have to see here from Vicious to kind of take control of this CTF game?
A big thing whenever I think about CTF as a game type is going to revolve around understanding when to push for the flag, right? You have to make sure that you have as many resources built up as possible, and for them that might mean something like kill streak and specialist streaks. But for me, I also think about that from a sense of having a certain amount of map control, right? Trying to figure out exactly which areas of the map to take so that you can force spawns from Team Kingdom in a particular area, which will allow you to easily take the flag, and not only take the flag, but run it back relatively uncontested as well. And then whenever you have control of kind of more of the middle of the map, and you're able to lock down a specific spawn point, you're able to prevent some of the counteroffensive that's going to come whenever you actually capture the flag, which is going to make it a lot easier for you to run the flag back. So that's what I'm really thinking to see from both teams, but in particular from Team Vicious, seeing as they need to win this game, else they're knocked out of the series.
Yep. Completely agree with you. Breach is going to be a very weird CTF map. I personally have never seen this map being played on CTF, so it's been very interesting to see how this actually really works out, because most CTF maps have 3 different lanes. This one, I believe, only kind of has 2. They have the cave area, then they have the, if you want to say, bridge area, because the middle of the map is completely waterfall. So you necessarily can't run it through the middle, but you can necessarily easily switch lanes quicker. So it'll be very interesting to see how Vicious and Kingdom can both adapt to this map. And I believe this one is actually going to, like I said, take in favor of Team Kingdom, because when I first mentioned what game modes we'll be playing, I actually kind of goofed and didn't say CTF. I was going really fast, doing multiple things at once. I said Hardpoint, and Kingdom was the ones who brought up saying, hey man, we not playing CTF? And I was like, no man, I'm sorry, I messed up, we are playing CTF. Sorry, Breach is not actually the map I was actually thinking about. This one actually very interesting to see. Ooh, this one's going to be very good. I agree with this map for it being on CTF, as we do see the middle map being pushed out here from Money real quick. Money's going to take the little HIV area here.
And kind of towards the center here. And and like you mentioned before, he has that VMP out.
Does go on board here versus. Versus is going to be on the B domination site here. Does try and push up with his teammates, but we actually will see the flag being pulled out here from Fierce, but Bash going to be on the flag. I believe that was a shock charge actually got hit from Fierce there, but we're going to see versus, and I believe that's going to be Geno Smash pushing up here. Does have one player going to be contesting it, that's going to be Money. Does pick up the kill on Money though, and Bash is going to have one player right next to him, but that's going to be Easy Fish. It is just currently trading kills. Geno Smash only one currently alive for his team as Easy Fish does manage to clean out his whole point. And Fletch is going to be the first person to really push up here. Does spot one, gets the kill on him, but does get taken out from Versus, but Fierce managing to trade the kill. And right now, Vicious is looking really good as they do have full control of the base, and this is what you want right now. And this is going to be big for, I want to say, Fierce. Fierce has to get these 2 opening kills here. They cannot allow, and just like that, Geno Smash does get taken out. But let's hop on board here with, I believe that's Money that has a flag.
Yeah, Money being the flag carrier here. Hoping to go ahead and run it back. It's going to be about his teammates here more than it is about him. How well of a job have they done kind of clearing the area? The problem is that right now, oh wow, that was great. They're able to go ahead and shut down one of the flag carriers, and that's going to maybe prevent some of the aggression from happening. But already you can see Ranger, who's traditionally more of an aggressive type of player, picks up the flag almost immediately. And this is what I really like seeing from Team Kingdom, is that they're starting to, or sorry, not from Team Kingdom, but from Team Versus.
Vicious.
Sorry, words are hard. Words are hard right now. But from Team Kingdom, I'm starting to see a little bit more teamwork than anything else. And what it's allowing them to do is that it's allowing them to really maintain a bit more control over the flag after they capture it.
One thing I didn't necessarily see coming out before both flags are pulled was Money originally had the flag, and Easy Money Sniper managed to pick up the kill and get the flag. But Money was ahead of Easy Money Sniper the whole entire time, when Easy Money should have been the first one in there. Because if Money wasn't able to get the kill, or if Money died like how he was, that would have been it. But we are going to see, you know, Ranger does have the flag right now. But we do have Geno Smash trying to get the flag. Does have one person there really to stop it. That is going to be...
This is a bit of a standoff right now more than anything else. With both flags away, it's going to be about whoever can really get the kill and reset the flag for the other team.
Yep. Money, though, coming behind. Does spot one. Does not get the kill on him. We still have Geno Smash just trying to get this pickup kill, but Fierce managing to get the kill there. He had to have a high caliber one, I would think.
That's really, really big here. It might be giving an opportunity. As you can see, it seems like Easy Money Sniper is able to just stay here relatively uncontested, but we might be seeing a bit of a push from Team Kingdom as they're trying to maybe make their way up the map and set up for a flank.
See, Fletch is in a good position right now because Fletch can necessarily get this kill because no one's guarding the flag carrier besides one person, and I believe he finally will get the kill, but sadly enough, but right now, Easy Money is just
Easy Money Sniper all by himself here. He's trying to stay alive, and he's able to go ahead and do so, taking out Bash in the process. Huge play right there. He was all alone. Bash had gotten around the one person who was playing sentry, kind of defending the flag there. And because of that, he had an opportunity, but Easy Money Sniper, he had the time, all the time in the world. He set up so perfectly, and you can already see that Smash is right back. They're trying to be a lot more aggressive here because, like you said, they have those specialist perks available.
Yeah, but this is a bad point here because, Bash did get the flag kill, never mind. Did get the flag, but it did not manage to get the pick up there. And just like that, straight back into favor, and it's going to be Kingdom and Vicious. Sorry, I'm completely backwards there. Bash managed to save the flag from dying. But it's very interesting to see because the Hive could have been brought out from Geno, but I don't think was brought out.
Well, let's go over to Versus. He has the Annihilator ready, and he's kind of just proned around in this corner more than anything else. Again, trying to lock down these areas and set up for a nice escort. Look at him already shutting down the site. That was a really, really big play for him as he's trying to rotate around and hopefully start securing the area a bit more.
Money, though, has 2 kills. He does have the kinetic armor, but does not manage to really utilize it. Picks up 1 kill. You know, we do have Geno Smash coming around. Still does have the Hive. Does have 2 people there. This can easily be in favor here. I think he actually fell off the map.
He might have some time. It's the final seconds. And at the last second, Vicious is able to go and stay alive and get the capture they need. That was absolutely insane.
It was actually Kingdom.
It was Kingdom. The ending screen always swaps.
He fell off the map. He got the kill, fell off the map, and the flag reset itself.
That is such a heartbreaker.
They would not have got the cap if he did not jump off. If he was stayed in the back, they would not have enough time because he just got the flag reset and he capped it with 0.1 seconds left on the flag.
That was nuts. Fortunately for them, though, it was just halftime. You still have another chance here.
Yep. Currently 1-0 in favor of Team Kingdom. Though the game does say 0-0, still is still one flag capture. We are playing total flag captures, not round wins. Sadly, still Black Ops 3 has to be fixed with that issue, as total flag captures does do round wins instead of, and it's backwards. In order to get round wins, you have to do total flag caps. Kind of weird. But Ranger currently pushed up all in their base. Only one person really there to contest. That's going to be Money, but just as I say that, the flag is going to be pulled. That's going to be Easy Money Sniper. But sadly enough, does not get the kill. But Money does have one person behind him, though. And that's going to be Bash. And just like that, flag is going to be pulled. And it's going to be pulled right down mid.
All right, and we're going over to Ranger. Gas control that flag. We're going to go ahead and really get some points on here.
This actually, I can see, I think this is going to be Kingdom's flag here. There's nobody that can really do nothing to really block it. Gino is managing to get the kills that he needs. There's only one person that can really do anything. And he just gets taken out. And just like that, it's going to be 2-0 now in favor of Team Kingdom.
It's just so tough right now, especially when I'm looking at this map. It feels like we're trying to see Vicious, who's hoping to start some kind of offensive. But notice the way that they are located on the map, right? They're all so scattered out overall. You have one lone person that's kind of pushing out towards that red base, trying to get that flag cap in. But he's all alone. He's all by himself. And he's probably going to be cornered here. He's able to shut down one player, but he's going to be shut down right after that. That's Ranger. A bit of a trade now, though, as we're able to see some of the members from Vicious hoping to go ahead and aid their teammate. And it's going to work out in their favor as Easy Fierce is able to walk away with the flag. And now he has a nice opportunity to maybe get some points in.
Yeah, but, they have to rotate back to the base. And right now, Versus can pull out the flag. Honestly believe he should pull out the flag and just kind of rotate back up to mid, but he's only had one person there contesting. That's going to be Money. Does manage to pick up the kill on him. That guy's all alone now. It's going to be Easy Fierce, and Easy Fierce is going to be all alone. Does have Money there to really stop him, but that's going to be one kill there. But just as I say that, Easy Money Sniper managing to return their flag, so now it's 2-1, still in favor of Team Kingdom, though.
Shutting down that flag carrier was so important at that moment. That was just fantastic play at the end there.
And just like I say, 2-1 in favor of Team Kingdom. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left.
Vicious still needs to go and find one more cap.
Bash pushing up. Does have the EMP grenade. Still getting EMP'd there. Does have 2 people in front of him, but will he manage to get the kill? Does spot 1, but will not be able to get the kill on him. I'm not too sure if that was a little bit of lag or did he get affected by that Guardian. But just as I said, Geno Smash does have one person trying to get, but he does miss the shots on him. Versus does pick up one, does spot a second one there, does pick up Easy Money Sniper and Fletch, and just like that he has full rotation over to the base. And this is what I'm talking about, where Fletch has to rotate back. They all have to rotate back here. Kingdom. Yeah, so Kingdom did win last round. It was 1-0. Team Vicious did get the exiting kill, fell off the map, and the flag was reset, and I believe it was Bash that actually got the flag capture for the team. But just as I say that, still 1 minute 30 seconds left. Geno Smash does get to pick up 2 kills though, but does get taken out by Money. Oh, sorry, does pick up 2 kills, gets Money. He's kind of waiting for his team. Does have the Hive though, kind of placing it, and this is what I'm talking about, where you're going to play more on your flag.
And Geno Smash really tried his best to go and make a nice little push here, but he's going to be shut down just a touch short as we hop over to Money from Team Vicious. He has that VMP out, scoping around, trying to make a really aggressive push here. Spots one, and he's going to be able to go ahead and put some points on the board there. Gets the flag, but is going to be taking some shots in the back. That's going to be Bash right there to shut him down. Sends in the clones, but all he could get was the clones. That was fantastic. That was fantastic use of the Psychosis. They're able to go ahead and get right past that offensive.
Yeah, but just like I said, look, Versus did manage to pull a flag, but they did get the flag back to the base, so still 2-1 now in favor of Team Kingdom. Flag being pulled out. Vicious trying to make this last-ditch effort. What can happen here? Versus does manage to take out his teammate Geno, but we see a lot more shock charges, and I believe it's just going to be defense for the last game. But we'll see a flank here coming out from Fierce, and it's actually a big play here as long as he can get all the entry kills here. But sadly, his teammate missed the flag, And this is where every kill matters, as Fletch does get the exiting kill. You know, this actually has very good chance, but is anybody on Team King, do they have streaks?
They need to go ahead.
Hailstorm and Lightning.
They need to escort this as perfectly as they possibly can. They drop it right on the flag, and that was actually maybe a mistake there. And at the last second, Vicious is able to go ahead and put one in. That was absolutely fantastic.
And we're going to go into Stopwatch. Stopwatch will be used. I believe so. They should use it, Stopwatch, as we do go into overtime CTF. That was great plays coming out from Vicious at the last 20 seconds, so actually last 40 seconds. You know, I believe that lightning strike and those kills could have been used a lot better, but sadly they won't. I'm not too sure what they're necessarily going to do because it is going to go by round wins here. So it's very interesting to see, will they play this side or will they not? It does seem like they're just kind of playing it out. So it'll be interesting, as it is currently 2-2. Stopwatch overtime is basically first flag capture, time gets stopped, switch sides, and the second flag capture goes in. If no teams are able to capture the flag on the first side, then we will go into second side, and the first team to capture the flag will win. As Bash
oh man, Bash getting that flag so uncontested there, and he's hoping to go ahead and just make this one really easy. We're not really seeing too many folks set up ready to really intercept him there, though.
This is where it matters, where when you're rotating back with your team, because of Soul Fight, like I said, in Stopwatch, you're trying to get all the kills that matter. Right now, it does seem like the flag will be reset. Bash does have to get the last kill. Capture limit reach. 48 seconds is the time to beat here.
Wow.
Kingdom, 48 seconds. That's ridiculous. That's a hard amount of speed to do. That is ridiculously hard.
That was just a very, very fast cap. Plain and simple. That was just such a quick cap. And it all started, I think, with Bash. You know, he ran in there incredibly uncontested, honestly. He had no real opposition facing him, and he was able to just waltz into the base, steal the flag, and just walk right back out.
Yep. One that to say is the kills. If you look at the kills are kind of evened out here. You know, there's only about a 8 kill, not necessarily 9 kill deficit coming out here. But then again, if you look at Bash is 12 and 18 right now, but so is Easy Money Sniper. But right now, 27 seconds left. What can Vicious do?
I mean, they need to at least touch the flag here, but they're being stopped from every single avenue, and this game is just taking away Vicious.
That's it. It takes about 20 seconds to capture it without overdrive, because they got the flag at 19.8 and they capped it with 1 second left. So right now it's currently that, and Kingdom will take the show match 3-1 as they do win 3-2 with the stopwatch overtime, 48-second capture. Kingdom takes it.
Vicious had their moments in this CTF game. They definitely had some big plays at the very end of the round before the stopwatch round, but Kingdom just came out so fast whenever it really counted. When it came down to that stopwatch, I mean, we saw Bash really uncontested when he walked into the base, and 48-second captures, like, that's absolutely unheard of. That was a near perfect capture.
Yep. It is very hard to beat a capture, especially if you capture it in under 60 seconds, because as soon as you pull that flag, as you noticed, what Kingdom did is, instead of keeping map control, which is what you normally do in CTF, they rotated all back with the flag carrier, made sure their base was clear, got all the exiting kills, and it was just Bash and one other player, and Bash won the gunfight, got the capture for his team, 48 seconds. As we do look at the players there, Versus was really the main player for the team with the slaying department. Bash, obviously the OBJ war coming out for his team, getting the last capture that really won it for them all. And the last kill, to be honest. But 3-1, Kingdom.
Yeah, just very well played. We saw some great dominance from them, especially when it came to search and destroy. But Vicious, they hung in there, and they made it a much closer game as these maps kind of continued.
Yep. Geno smashed 25-22. Everybody else on Vicious, kind of 20 kills and less. But guys, that's it for us tonight here at the Versus Gameplay Arcade. Congratulations goes out to Team Kingdom. Thank you for Kingdom and Vicious both for such short notice. Actually saying, hey, you know, we'll participate in the show match. Next week should be Static versus EZG if they both confirm. But guys, follow us on Twitter at Versus Gameplay. Also guys, if you like the stream and you like us here at the Versus Gameplay Arcade, remember there's a donate button below the stream. Donations go towards venue and the stream. Also, guys, you can follow me on Twitter at VGP_Shadow.
I'm at JVark1990.
Yep, and guys, we're here at the Versus Gameplay Arcade, and we're out.
Take care, y'all.